Those kittens are gone home now. I think Missy misses them actually, to be honest. She was playing a lot with them this morning, but they all wanted to sleep together last night, so me and Jason just had the bedroom to ourselves for the first time in a long time, because usually Missy sleeps on the bed with us. But she wanted to sleep out with them. She was like crying at the door and all, so. Missy, move. Yeah, I got sick this morning when I was cleaning their litter tray, so that was really unpleasant, and I haven't eaten yet, but I have a real craving for potato and leek soup, and I actually have the ingredients for potato and leek soup. Thank God. And what time is it? It's probably about 12:30. I've been up for a few hours and haven't eaten anything and puked, so I better get something into my body before I faint. That's why I'm sitting down while peeling the potatoes, because I just can't stand for longer than 5 minutes. But yeah, Jason will be home soon. Probably about 45 minutes, thank God, so he can feel sorry for me. Like, what's the point in having an ailment and like something bad happening to you if you can't get some attention for it? Then you're not reaping any benefits whatsoever. It's just something bad that happened to you. But then at least I can have someone feel sorry for me, go, oh, my poor baby, and then like look after me. You know, that makes it all worth it. I'm using the recipe from BBC Good Food. They're so good. The recipes on there are so good. I swear to God, I use absolutely everything from the BBC Good Food website. Like that pavlova I made. Missy, you're in the way. She's like loves a bit of attention. Careful. Missy, you're gonna have to move, love. Will I do a little time-lapse moment? I think so. I found that so satisfying, the me cleaning the fridge thing. Even with no music in the background, just all the noises of me doing it. Anyone else? It reminds me of those, you know, the TikToks of the Korean women, and they come home and they're like, night routine, and they have all these gadgets that they put their shoes into, and they have like those automatic hoovers and like random things to clean their chopping boards. I feel like that, except I don't have any of the gadgets and I'm not rich either, but now this actually only takes about 15 minutes to cook. Guys, I could be a food blogger with this carry on. So, loads of butter. I don't think my ratio of potato to leeks was good, but I kind of like the taste. I love the taste of leeks actually, so I don't really mind. But as long as it's thick enough, which is fine. It needs to be cut. And what you do is you get a big piece of parchment paper. And you kind of bury the veg underneath like this. So it keeps all the flavour in. And then you put a lid over that. Probably turn it down a bit. And you'd let that cook for 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I'm gonna make the stock. So usually I would love if I could say I make my own stock. I just don't, to be honest. I have nowhere to store my veg scraps, and I'm scared of, because I'm scared Missy will eat them or it'll attract rats like in London. So I don't make my own stock. But I use either Oxo or I use the, what's it called? The Callow. But the Callow one just, because it's extra low salt. But that's the only one they sell in Tesco, is the extra low salt one. I know they have a normal salt Callow veg stock. This is what they look like. Now this isn't mine because this is a beef one. I don't know who owns this. Must be one of my housemates. This Callow, that brand. Oh yeah, here's my one. Very low salt. Now when I'm making soup, it's not nice. It doesn't, yeah, it's just, I like a bit more salt. So I have Oxo vegetable here. which is the tastiest, and it's vegan as well. So, because some stock cubes have dairy in them for some reason. Like random products, like some salt and vinegar crisps have dairy, do you know what I mean? I don't know why. It's like, must be a flavour thing. But also, do you know what OXO started doing? They started making a meat-free beef flavour stock cube. And I used that to make a stew. I had that in a video, but I actually deleted that video, so I don't know why I'm referencing it. I made a stew with the meat-free OXO stock cube. So yeah, I'm just gonna boil the kettle now and make some stock. I'll probably use about 2 stock cubes with about 800 mils of stock, and sometimes I don't even use all of it. It's just depending on how much I need by the thickness of the soup. I usually like a bit thicker, but not thick enough where I can't drink it out of a mug. Do you know that kind of way? So kind of like a thick hot chocolate. I like the texture of like a thick, yeah, of like a melted chocolate sort of was. If that even makes sense. But not too thick, and I blend it really well. I don't like any bits. Now I do make a nice minestrone soup, and that's, I don't blend that. It's just like vegetables, pasta and stock. That's really good. But for this I'm going to blend it. Apparently this is called a cartouche. Some chef thing. And it's the recipe says to only use the white part of the leeks, but like I like the green part. I don't really know why. Maybe it's because I don't blend properly or something, but I've made this before and I use the green part and I don't mind. I'm going to do 2 pinches of salt. And then some pepper. Oh, I love the smell. I love the smell of leeks actually. It reminds me of my mom's house, so she used to make potato leek soup all the time. Okay, so that's to be cooked. That was cooked for about 5 or 10 minutes. Actually, I think I could do with all of it. Bring to a boil, and then let simmer for about 15 minutes, or until the potatoes are soft. She could be 10 even. Say 10 minutes. Try and have a closer look. I'm craving like white foods, so chickpeas, potatoes, and stuff, mayonnaise, like that sort of thing, but I need to obviously have a bit more nutrients, so I'll make the chickpea tuna salad thing that I started making like literally 4 years ago, but I haven't made since. Yeah, I don't think I've made it since I lived in Galway actually. Now the thought of like vegan sausages, vegan burgers, vegan bacon, that is making me want to, that's making me want to, so I'm really, there's an aversion to that sort of thing. Anything with kind of a red or pink colour to it, it's something to do with the smell and the colour. Red to me smells like, I'm actually feeling sick even talking about it. Like the pinky redness brown of a food is making me think of eating a liver. Like eating human. My old home ec teacher in my first secondary school, because I switched secondary schools, but yeah, my first home ec teacher, whenever she said flavour, she'd say it like this, flavour, and she would always say, fat equals flavour, and I'll never forget it. You know, it's just one of those things that stuck in your head. And she had a lovely innocent smile, but I think she was actually, no, she was actually so innocent, never mind, I take that back. She was lovely, a lovely woman. Loved her. Now my second home ec teacher, and the reason why I didn't do home ec for my leaving cert, scary. She was a scary, scary woman, because I love everything to do with home ec. I love nutrition, food, cooking, sewing. So it's a real shame that I didn't do it for leaving cert. You know, it's horrible in the education system where you can't do a certain subject because you like it because of the teacher. It's horrible. And then, like for example, I did lower Irish and then I was moved to higher because she was like, you should be in higher. That sounds like I'm boasting there. She actually moved me to higher Irish. Yeah, but anyway, she moved me to higher Irish. She's like, she shouldn't be in ordinary. Did I say lower? That's really horrible. No, you shouldn't be in ordinary level. But then the higher Irish teacher was so bad. He was so bad. It was almost like he couldn't speak Irish. So I just moved back down to ordinary because I couldn't, like I wasn't retaining any information. And my learning, you know the way people have different types of learning? So it's like oral, visual, kinetic learning. I am very heavily like depending on the teacher to teach me something, because I must be an oral learner where I have to like listen and see it happen. Do you know what I mean? I have to have someone else teach me to do it. I can't just like read it and then the information gets it, like I don't retain the information straight away. Where a lot of people can do that, they can just like teach themselves a whole Leaving Cert course at home and do really well. But I personally, I wouldn't thrive in that sort of environment. I need to have a good teacher for me to do well in a subject. So the subject that I did the best in was geography. Now I did love geography anyway, but my teacher was so good as well. My geography teacher was so good. My biology teacher was so good, and I wasn't even that good at biology. The exam was also really, really hard. Why am I talking about the Leaving Cert? Why am I talking about the leaving cert? Anyway, it's literally Christmas break. Like, you shouldn't be thinking of exams. What else did I do? Surprisingly, I did so bad in art and I thought I was gonna do really well. But looking back at my projects, like, no. Like, they were really bad. I used, as my medium, I did clay, and I made like a pumpkin. I think the theme must have been fairy tale or something, because I made a pumpkin out of the Cinderella story. And my mom owned a pottery shop, so I was really good at clay. My mom used to own a pottery shop like before the recession. That was probably the best thing, but my drawing really bad. It was a buzz of like my still life and my, what's the portrait? Oh yeah, portrait. It was like the whole body, the head took up most of the page, and then the body was really, really small. You know, that kind of way. Like, it just was really bad. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna apply for NCD, and my mom was like, that's not a good idea. But yeah, and then what other subjects did I do? I did French. My French teacher was really bad. I saw this TikTok and it was like, secondary school is hiring the most eccentric middle-aged woman of all time to teach French. And it's so true. Like, it holds up. That stereotype actually holds up, because there was a buzz of like, she would print 40 pages of worksheets every single day that were just useless, and it would waste so much paper. So it was hard. I could probably got a D in French. I just about passed. My maths teacher, really good. I did higher maths. I did really good in maths, actually, surprisingly. Well, like, good for higher maths, you know what I mean? I probably got like a C3 or something. But those extra 25 points, good night. My English teacher was really bad, but I surprisingly did well. And it was a thing where my English teacher would like call me, and she was a bully, and she would like call me in front of the class and make me read something, and then she was like, this is an example of what not to do. Like, that sort of thing. And the only time she ever got me to read an essay because it was good, because she liked it, she said it was you know, what they say, tour de force essay. A tour de force essay is when you can tell it's going to be an A1. I know it's like H, whatever. You can tell it's going to be an A1 when you read the first sentence. Well, the only time there was a tour de force essay was when I wrote it on obesity and like the nuances with obesity, and she loved it then. Totally fatphobic. She was like, yeah, because I made like a joke about McDonald's. Oh my god, like, come on, I was 17, do you know? I wasn't saying something profound. I probably like read it online somewhere. I probably like heard it on the radio and was like, that's a good idea. I'm kind of enjoying myself talking about my leaving cert. Hopefully this is finished soon. We'll report back when it's ready. Come a bit closer. I hate when people do this. It reminds me of the Gabby Hanna effect, where they address the hate that they get. It's like talking so much about the hate that it eventually breeds more hate and negativity towards them. It's a sign of vulnerability and weakness. So when someone addresses their hate, even if it's a small portion of it, for some reason it reacts the chemical in people's brain to hate that person even more, which I understand, because I hate when someone like replies to hate comments, is trying to give back, like is trying to give comebacks. It's just really, it's hard to watch. It's really hard. It's like watching a car crash, and you hate that it's happening but you can't look away. And the best method is obviously just ignore it. I used to be a person to like just delete comments or block the person depending on the severity of the comment. Now, I've had like a recurring hater on my TikTok, a recurring hater, like this one person who I recognize, who literally comments like things like, your dad said on the radio that he doesn't love you, like that sort of shit. And I would let it go on and on and on, because I was like I thought it was funny because it wasn't affecting me, because it was so extreme that it wasn't affecting me. But when someone actually like brings up something that I've said 4 years ago, or is like, remember when you said this, for some reason drives me insane. It's so annoying. I actually can't think of, and I know I'm doing it now because I'm like addressing it. It is so annoying. First of all, what kind of person remembers something a random person has said 4 years ago that you've never even met? You don't even know this person. And it's usually like a political belief that I said in literally a 30-second clip, and then I like change my mind in the next one. Oh my god, it really grinds my gears, and it's so like insidious. But you know, like if you're in secondary school, like it's insidious bullying. It's like, did you not say you were doing that? You're like trying to catch people out, even though it's not overt, like being mean or being negative towards the person, because it's not exactly insulting them, but it's like bringing up a thing that they've said to purposely push their buttons. Oh my god, nothing annoys me more. Nothing annoys me more. Also, what else? Now I know it might be because my hormones are heightened at the moment and I'm at a His potato and leek soup is so good, by the way. It's really hitting the spot. Now, YouTube is my safe space. Everyone that watches my YouTube videos, I would trust with my life. I would let them mind my drink for me. I would leave my house unlocked if they were staying next door and they knew my address. I would let them sleep over on my couch. Like, this is everyone who watches my YouTube videos. Fully trust with my life. No, like, you can have my card details. Buy whatever you want. You know, that kind of way. Like, would send you a birthday card if I could. The comments are always so nice, actually interacting with things I'm saying, genuinely cares for my well-being. I genuinely want to know how your life is going, how you're doing. Only want the best for me, right? When I put up a video, this is a video that I was referring to that was deleted. Anyway, I put up a video talking about I keep calling her Cora, about Missy Moo having the shits, right? Explosive shite. And I was talking about it, and then I was like, oh, I need to clean her milk bowl. And in the same video, I talked about how I'm always Googling symptoms. I'm like a cat expert. I'm always on the phone to the vet. So that's kind of insinuating that I don't need to take any advice or tips from anyone, wouldn't it? Saying that I have my vet and speed dial and I'm always Googling things. You would assume that I know small little things about cats and what they can and can't eat. I also referenced that cats are allergic to loads of things. So I would know what they are and aren't allergic to. About 3 people. Now, one person was really nice about it. They were like, oh, Keelan, just so you know, cats are lactose intolerant. One person literally goes, well, if you don't want your cat to have the shit, maybe don't give it milk. Oh my God, the tone. You can just tell the tone of the comment. Do you know what I mean? Oh my God, I'm still doing it. I'm ranting so much. Obviously, I give her Whiskas kitten milk. Like, I didn't think that I'd have to say that. Also, the milk that was in the bowl was like yellow. You know, it's clearly not cow's milk. I'm not giving the cat cow's milk. I know what the cat's allergic to. Do you not think that the vet would be like, are you giving it milk? Over the phone when I'm like, my cat has the shits. Would you not think that that was an answer? No? Anyway. And we were like, you're torturing this cat by giving it cow's milk. Another comment was like a literal essay. And I was like, oh, well, that's good that I'm not giving it cow's milk then. That I'm not giving it full milk. Give me kitten milk. Whiskas, lactose free. I highly doubt Whiskas is selling poison to cats, do you know? Anyway, rant over, guys. Sorry about that. Now, obviously, that's like once in a blue moon, and it's just in particular, you know, when you're in a bad state and one thing sets you off. Like, someone could literally be like, oh my God, your roots, Keelan. And I think sometimes when I'm kind of a self-deprecating person as it is, and I'm always slagging myself, so I think that sometimes gives people an open invitation to slag me. It's like sometimes when you have a friend and you're like giving out about your siblings or your parents, and then they join in and you're like, no, I'm allowed to do that, you're not. You know, it's really, there's boundaries. It's like, I'm allowed to slag myself, that's where the humor comes from. I'm allowed to be self-deprecating, but there's a difference between me being open and honest about my mistakes and slagging myself and then someone else doing it. Then it's just mean, and then you're just a horrible person. Do you know what I mean? I slag myself, I don't slag others. You know, I'm not going around being like, oh my God, the state of their year, they did horrible, they're such pieces of shit. I say those things about myself, yeah, no bother, because it's funny and it's how I deal with things, but I'm not going to be saying that about other people. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm back. I know what the issue is. I haven't journaled in a while. Like, because I'm writing a book, I don't journal my actual feelings and like work through my emotions, because I've said before, I'm really bad at processing anger. Like, really bad. Like, I go straight to like insulting in my head, where it's just like making my day worse. Because I'm obviously not projecting onto the whatever person. I'm not like, you fucking loser, piece of shit, stop, you know what I mean? I'm not like handing out the insults. Like, no, there's no tomorrow. I don't even have that many insults in my vernacular to even use. Like, I wouldn't even know what to say, so it wouldn't be good in an argument like that. All I do is like send laughy face emojis, you know, to make it appear like I don't care, but then it actually does. I actually do care very much, as you can tell. So I have my potato and leek soup, I have my flat 7-Up. Bye. I'm donating all of this shit to a charity shop near me. I do have a tendency to hoard a lot of shit because I'm trying to reject the the cyclical pattern of when my mother used to just throw out everything. And that's including, like, she used to throw money in the bin by accident. When she picked me up from the Debs, I left my heels in the boot and then she threw out my heels that were in the boot. So just anything that's lying around that you don't claim immediately, she will throw in the bin. But when I did a sponsorship with Four Loco, couture. Very Gucci. Yeah. Psst, psst. Hello.
Smells good.
Thanks. It's just the base. Caroline, Dad, Ellie, Saoirse and my mum all have COVID. But my mum's pretending she doesn't and like still going around.
Yeah, that sounds like your mum.
Yeah. She's like, sure, fuck it. It's grand. I have no symptoms.
Not how it works. They all have this.
Yeah.
How do they get it?
Well, Ellie was having symptoms last week, but she was testing every day and it always came up negative. But then Caroline tested positive. She was the first one to test positive. They probably got it off Cora, to be honest, like in school. So yeah, but now my mum and Saoirse have just tested positive as well.
Oh my god.
That's fine.
Way.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I accidentally like save them, or if I do, sometimes I do it on Instagram or something. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It would get taken down straight away.
Yeah,
so that's
still.
Fine.
Zoom it in a bit.
I have to move it. No, the zoom doesn't work anymore because it fell on its lens. I have to move it now anyway because there's no plug here. People will probably be selling alcohol on the black market. Like, do you know the way people on Moore Street sell cigarettes? It's probably be the same.
Cans for cheaper,
yeah.
Probably fact actually.
But I don't know if you can fly with liquids, so I don't know actually how they'd import them.
My brain is so
My
fucked.
brain.
Yeah, we were at the Donis, my brain. We were at the Donis and like, I was just like on edge.
Missy actually knocked over my camera last night in a fit of rage. Well, I think she was in a fit of rage. I don't know what was wrong with her. I finished my cheesecake. I let it set overnight, but I don't know if it actually is set, to be honest. It seems a bit wobbly. Look at this. Wait. Well, it's better than yesterday, but it's still like, I don't know if you can eat it like that. But anyway, I have to make the drizzle for it on top, which is strawberries and icing sugar blended together. So it's strawberries and icing sugar blended together, and then you sieve that through to make your like little syrup thing. You drizzle that over, and then the rest of the strawberries just go on top too. Anyway, so I'll do that, and I'm not going to show it though because I'm not arsed, so I'll just show you in a sec when it's done. I don't even want this anymore. It looks like it'll make me feel sick. Oh. And I didn't use one of those cake tins that you can just take the sides off, which was stupid of me. But what can you do? It's just going to be deconstructed cheesecake probably. So it's not solid. Okay, here we go. Cheers. I know it tastes nice, but I can't really enjoy it fully. Okay, I'm gonna put it back in the fridge. Shite. Okay, I think next time I won't put the cream in it, because it obviously just didn't thicken because it was a plant-based cream. Because it was supposed to be in stiff peaks.